100% on our way to the moon.
Moontrain's on point, we're in the groove, trading like a symphony. With the
Dow's
big
over
mics,
$50,000.
juicing up
I don't know why you're laughing. You're a great stock trader.
We're on the moon train.
Then we watched you guys land on the moon.
No, you did.
This is how you become a day trader.
네, 잘 어울리네요. 네. 자, 시구의 젠슨황 CEO 그리고 시타에는 두산베어스의 구단주 박정원 회장입니다. 자, 여러분 모두 좋은 기운 받아가세요.
Alright.
젠슨황 CEO의 시구였습니다.
Jensen can't throw for shit, but watch the symbolism. And this episode is going to be about not only what we're gonna do next week, but about the narrative. Okay? Very, very important. The narrative. Right? So we've been on an absolute tear. And then Friday, the market was absolute dog shit. And even though we knew it was coming, I feel I could have reacted a little bit better. But at the same time, I could also have been murdered, which I wasn't. And a lot of people were, obviously. Whomever bought anything in 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13. Lucky number 13 trading days. All right. Okay. So what happened here? Well, I had posted on the Moontrain this 7 days ago. And then I remembered it for a couple of days and forgot about it. But this was the marker, and next time we get VIX 1D ghosts, it means we gotta be on the lookout. Same thing happened here, right? So we also, I just want to remind everybody while we're on the ghost subject, that there is a ghost on ES. You might want to scroll back in the ghost candle chat, but it is like far below. I think it's from a few weeks ago. I'm trying to find it on the other computer. I mean, that thing is down below. I think it's to like 17 or 7100, something like that. Okay, which is kind of in line here with this volume shelf, and I do think we go there. We might even go here, but quite not yet is the point. So did banks sell? No, banks did not sell. Instead, I had mentioned Friday morning that XLF was through the Bollinger Band, as was all the banks pretty much. Also, Dow Jones, even though it did have a shit day, not as shit as tech, and Dow Jones merely went to gap fill. Okay, very interesting, because it looks like there's blood in the streets. The reason tech had a record shit day and $1.75 trillion disappeared from the Nasdaq is because, as I've been saying for days now and weeks, that is the valuation of SpaceX right here. Okay, this on the chart is how much SpaceX will matter. A lot can be said about the SpaceX IPO and all of that, but because there's other narratives than the space economy right now, they needed to do this in a day. Okay? And they did it in a day. Do you think anybody's gonna give 2 fucks about the NFP numbers on Monday? No. That might have been used as an excuse, not that we're gonna do a massive transfer of wealth. So once you understand what's going on here, and that all the funds and the pension funds and the indices and blah, blah, they'll be forced to buy this Emperor's New Clothes. There's no need for SpaceX IPO. No one gives a fuck. It does nothing for your life. It'll do nothing for my life. All it will do is be a black hole, if you believe in that shit, for money. Okay? Hence the space economy that nobody can go check on. This is like Elon hype times 50, because there's nothing that makes Reebok wearing golfers harder than the sight of a rocket flying into the Bermuda Triangle. Okay? So, what are we gonna do? Well, Jensen there said that him and the CEO of Samsung have some news that's going to drop. So, we just went through Exhibit A and B, now we're moving on to C, which is that the Cosby, Samsung over here, as leveraged with oil, wasn't even fucking open on Friday. Okay, so going forward, we're gonna kind of tail here what Asia does and front run it. I'm in a good place for it, right? Ha ha ha. And you can really see it here when you look at the charts that they got out of the fucking way on Friday. Literally, they weren't around. So I'm assuming they're gonna buy this up. And when I say that they're going to jump into these tech names, I do believe so. We have plenty of ghosts going all the way up here on MU, actually, to right there. Jensen's now been saying the whole week and how there's a memory shortage. There's a fucking shortage on everything. So I know we're under a lot of shit here, and I mean that's not to say. I mean, look, on Friday we even had an 85% trade on MU early on, right here, but these got really beaten to shit. But did it though? You know what I mean? Like, let's put things into perspective. I do think that we bounce on Monday, and then the rest of the week, a lot of these names are going to go back test either gaps or their daily 21s. Marble got included. It's already up here because you can look at hyperliquid futures in Asia and all these tech names. I posted them in the chat. You can scroll up and look. I mean, Marvel's up 7, ARM 5, MU's up 3.3, Nvidia's up 2.6%, right? So Nvidia's already going to be around here. So I do think that we're going to bounce on Monday and then maybe fade the rest of the week. And what could that fade be? Well, obviously, Israel has decided to bomb Lebanon to shit all weekend, and the market needs to, at some point, for political purposes, react to that. Okay, and then we're already going to be in FOMC, so I do think we bounce, and then we are going to be on collar watch. So this is very sneaky here. We pierced the Bollinger Band here. Why is that important? Then we ripped all the way up. We never pierced it again. And I think this does this in universe now. We come up here. We might even overshoot it a little bit to the 9. Maybe even over the 9. People start feeling good. Not on Monday, but here throughout these next following days. And then this shit's gonna go down and pierce this. Making it look something like that, literally forming a head and shoulders. Okay, asymmetrical, of course, something like that. The Namo, if you watch here, I've been talking a lot about this. I figured it'd be more down, that it'd be bottomed out after Friday. It wasn't. It actually came down more midweek than it did on Friday. So that tells me we might bounce, and then at some point here soon we're gonna go for the full Monty, and let Friday be your wake-up call that all hands on deck. Need to be on it. Don't need to trade all the time either. And guess what, fuckers? Who's there right by your side at all times? The good old sports calendar that literally had this shit of the bed. This is not time-wise or price-wise, but like the momentum of the market. Very, very interesting. And we're gonna be here, give or take. So watch for a little bit of retrace to the upside and then bombs away. That being probably around the FOMC. Okay. I'm also happy to report that the flow trade is back, has updated, and as you can see here, there's a lot of big orders going on. Right? They're fucking started buying the shit out of MU right here, which ironically is literally at low a day. So again, you know, not a lot of Nvidia, but Brodog's already done his part and made his money. But there is a flow trade goes to 230, so I fully expect this to go back there. As far as SPY, I mean, I took some calls in the day. Might be too far out of the money. We'll see. But I did take 744s because I fully believe that we're at least gonna go retrace here. We might go lower when futures open, so I'll be trying to catch that low on ES starting tomorrow and play this up to here. If we gap over here on Monday at open, specifically here, I will sell the out of the monies and I will hammer really fucking heavy Tuesday in the money calls and try to get it up to here. Here I will get out unless I have this as another target, but I think it comes on Wednesday. The reason I think that is not only mechanical, it's also not my first rodeo. But the VIX pierces Bollinger Band. The Namo will probably make an inverted head and shoulders here, or do a fake out of it. Then I fully expect it to come down. I don't think it retraces up to here anymore. And then with the VIX 1D hitting that ghost, those things kind of line up for me. Early next week I'll be playing SPY. Unless I see that the banks start selling. If the banks start selling, I will probably entertain playing QQQ. But with such a crash and JPN green on the day, I mean, come on, bro. You know what I mean? So that's my trading plan for early in the week. Then we will see. Another thing that I've been mentioning about is crypto, and that a lot of the money came out of Bitcoin, and Bitcoin's higher now. So here's my famous Bitcoin sketch. Right, was the head and shoulders? Okay, it's gone because I had to reload everything, but it also went where it needed to. It's starting to come up. Then midweek, I do think you get, again, I've been saying that this fucking Iran war bullshit deal is exactly that, bullshit. So we probably see some action this week, but we also see some recovery, and then we see a outrageous fucking bogus sell that again will be viable. So next week we have nothing on Monday, perfect for a tech recovery. Tuesday, blah blah blah. Actually, let's put on all the countries here. All events. There we go. Some Chinese data, no one cares. Home sales, core inflation, Tuesday. This shit. This should be hot. So let's play for Monday. Okay. Okay. This should be hot by now. It is really surprisingly hot. Down you go. Okay. You should at least, if it's hot, go pierce this Bollinger Band. Okay. If it's cool, you probably rally back to the 9. So maybe we do a straddle. Okay, or maybe not. These guys are gonna do absolutely fuck all. Thursday, ECB are forecasted to hike their fucking rates. So you got a situation where the president's out here talking out of his ass that we're gonna get rate cuts. We're not gonna get any fucking rate cuts, okay? And then PPI. And Friday, Michigan, no one cares. So this one is big. But with that said, a lot of chartists probably agree. A lot can be now fucking baked into this candle. Because the fact is, let's just go back and look. And we've had 8 of these candles under Trump. Last time we were higher. The time before that we were higher, but during the day. But we had like a miraculous recovery. The time before that we had a gap up. That was an 800% move on zeros. So like chances are that we go higher. If we don't, something's fucking fishy and funky. Okay, but as you see, when you have these big candles, they're followed by big. So think about it this way, like when you have bad shit like this, there's a lot of inexperienced traders in a bunch of fucking puts, right? Okay, and you know me, I love buying the deep, so of course I'm gonna buy the deep here. Also, this is dirty as fuck because it's the day after they changed the day trading rules. So think about how many people just were in and out and fucking scrambling. I mean, I stepped away and came in to buy the deep at the end after hours because I wasn't in puts like Double J from here. It's a good job on that, bro. Fantastic move. I'm not complaining, but I've also been buying the deep all the way up here. So I want to buy the deep maybe even to here and then let it cool down again. So that's my plan. Keep an eye on this. Keep an eye on this name. Obviously the usual suspects. Okay, maybe not Meta though. Okay. And what else? Call put ratio, I mean, fucking through the roof, right? So that's gonna come down. That alone will cause these to bounce. And also you see they were buying fucking calls all the way down, by the way, right here on SPY. Flow trade agrees. So where are we? We're down here. I mean, I wouldn't be like, you get over 745 as I showed you here. I want to be playing calls up to this cluster here, right? And he kind of agrees. You let's say you have really good news and you gap over that, then we fucking start hitting that, and we hit it super hard. Okay, gang. But I do think after a bounce, you do come down next week. Yeah, I mean Tuesday has 755 as its biggest. So if this holds on Monday, that means that CPI is gonna be fucking cooked, crisp, meaning cryogenically frozen, and we go all the way up there. I mean, there's a lot of money to be fucking made here. Wednesday has that. So if we can play it all the way, I mean, we gotta keep an eye on that futures open. I remember, was it during that war, when the war started, dude? What fucking day was that? But it was when we called the bottom too, like, I think it was a Sunday. Yeah, is this Friday had been gross, and then we saw them just like buy this up during futures. My first opening candle was like $30, and then we've been fucking ripping ever since. So this is really the first time we're back at this. So maybe we can come back here. Then I probably would take a look and see what happens after that. But that's our plan. Love you guys. Love this group. We should have Toddster, our grandmaster, back as well. Thank you for everybody's help. What a unique group. Friday was a little bullshit, but that already happened. We're looking forward. I fucking fed a lion today. Touched the lion. Touched the leopard too. And the giraffe. And saw a rhino. A bunch of firsts, you know, today, which is pretty fucking cool. And we're just gonna kick ass next week. Simple as that. God bless.
We're riding with the moonshine.